I lived in the city for quite a few years, and, in Vancouver and Edmonton, and what I find, it's just not so much hustle and bustle. You know, there's lots of amenities here, there's things happening, it's just enough, I like it.
Population, just under 10,000. Region, Sturgeon County. Attractions, St. Jean-Baptiste Church. These are just some of the things residents of Morinville celebrate.
I like the small town feel that you get around here. Small little businesses that you can support. The community spirit is great.
The settlement of Morinville began back in 1891 with the arrival of Father Jean-Baptiste Morin. The church, which was eventually named after him, remains a centerpiece for the town and a place where many gatherings happen.
There's a lot of things that make Morinville special, but I think it's the people and the community.
The locals, well, they're always encouraging visitors to experience the town as they see it.
You know what? Take a drive around. Take a nice Sunday drive. Take a look. See the community. See the impact of how what people are doing, and it's just a friendly environment. Lots of places to eat. Lots of things to do. Even go for a nice walk at the museum down by the church. There's lots of walkways here. It's a nice community, but you gotta stop your vehicle. You gotta get out. You gotta go just take a walk around and see. And it's a nice, quaint little town, right?
Today on Where You Live, we drive up Highway 2 to the town of Morinville, where we meet with Mayor Lisa Holmes. Guten Tag, bienvenue, welcome.
Thank you for coming.
How is your French or German? Pretty good?
It's very minimal.
Very minimal. Well, I bring up the French and German because in Morinville, there is a large French and German cultural aspect here. How's that being incorporated in the town?
Well, we come from a history of both Francophone community as well as German farmers from the Sturgeon County area. So we incorporate both through festivals usually. We have an amazing opportunity in March to do a raising of the Francophone flag. And we incorporate that with a day full of events and a dinner with food. Food always brings people out to celebrate of the Francophone heritage that we have, which is really clearly evident all throughout town. All of our street signs are bilingual. We spend a lot of time just trying to make sure that people realize where we come from. And then the German heritage, we throw a huge Oktoberfest in October, which is obviously what it says. It's a lot of fun. We have entertainment and food and bratwurst and beer, and it's fantastic.
And one of the things I did notice was if you drive downtown, you have St. Jean-Baptiste Church, and then you have some of the other buildings that are steeped in the heritage and the cultural aspect. That's part of the development?
It is. You know, Morinville has been around a long time. We celebrated our 100th birthday in 2011. So one thing that is special is that we have one of the oldest churches in Alberta. It was, I believe, the second historical designated building in Alberta. And we have not just the church, but the old convent as well. And it is the focal piece, obviously, of the town. When you drive through, it's the first thing you see, and it is beautiful. So we've tried to incorporate some of that theme in the rest of the development downtown, and really celebrate what we call the core de Morinville, which is just the heart of our community.
And that is the heart. We're also in one of the other heart pieces of the community, in the Cultural Community Center, the CCC. How is this so important to the town?
Well, it's a great place for the community to gather, and we really were missing that, the opportunity for people to come in and celebrate culture, whatever it means to them. So it might be community events and meetings. It could be events like what we have up here, which we're in a space called My Loft, which is the Morinville Youth Loft. So we have a lot of opportunities for youth to come in and engage with each other and do things also that would be like cooking classes and youth programs. But we also celebrate our culture by having huge, big theater organizations come in and offer us a lot of events that way. So it's been a fantastic building. It's new, it's fairly new. It opened in our centennial year, and it's really well used.
Over the past year, you've ran with this campaign called More in Morinville. Is there more in Ville? So they're play on words, right?
Absolutely. Well, we say there is. The campaign was great. It celebrated with a YouTube video that was done with a lot of local people, a song specifically written for us. But it just talks about the fact that we're more than just a normal small town rural community, you know, or a bedroom community outside of Edmonton. We have a lot of heritage, we have a lot of pride. We have a really young, vibrant community as well. Our average age is 32. So the amount of families here that really offer that feeling of small town with all the amenities of a small city, it has a lot to offer.
And I guess those are just some of the benefits of living in a smaller community. We visited Beaumont and we visited Leduc, which is smaller outside of the Edmonton actual core. Are there other benefits to living, say, here in Morinville, say, to compare to those towns?
Well, there is. I mean, almost half of the number of people that work in Morinville don't actually work in our community. They work in Edmonton or in our surrounding region. And so we may be deemed a bedroom community, but I think that the reason why communities like Beaumont and Stony Plain and Morinville have become so vibrant is that people really want to have that community feel, have the pride that comes with knowing your neighbors and your friends and being able to walk through a traditional downtown and do your shopping in a small space rather than going to a big box store. So we offer all of those things here, but we're also 35 minutes from downtown Edmonton and Rogers Place and West Edmonton Mall and all those great amenities you want as well. So
St. Albert's like 2 minutes away.
Yes, it's 9 minutes from my house to Costco, which is always a good thing. But there's a lot that they're offering that we're able to tap into. But we also have a direct line into Edmonton through you know, the other Highway 642 and going down 28. So it's a really great place to be, is where we are now.
You termed bedroom community for Morinville. How do you cope with that sort of identity?
Well, I don't think it's a bad identity. I think that the fact that people choose to spend their leisure and living time here is appropriate. We need to make sure we offer the services that they require, which is why we're building a really big, large new recreation center. It seems like it gets a negative connotation, but every community in the Edmonton metropolitan region plays a role. And Morinville's role is to offer our residents a great place to live and play, while some of the other region places offer them a place to work. So I'm okay with that. And I also think that the more businesses that we get as we grow, the more opportunities we'll have for employment here.
With other small towns surrounding Edmonton, how do you build a working relationship with those small towns, say like a Bon Accord or a town like that?
Well, we have a lot of ways that we network, especially elected officials. We meet every couple of months as all the mayors of the Sturgeon County municipalities and have dinner just to get to know each other and be able to discuss what some of the needs are. But we started to take that a step further into more formal arrangements. And the first one that we've undertaken is emergency management. So we have an amazing new program for emergency management that's operated through the entire region. So Morinville has a brand new ladder truck, fire truck, for example, and they don't have that in the other municipalities. So when they had the fire in Gibbons that involved the grain elevators, we were able to respond very quickly. They don't need to spend millions of dollars on that type of truck. So we have a great opportunity to be able to leverage what each other has and the different services we can provide.
And that's a big accomplishment. Also, another big accomplishment in Alberta as a whole is playing and celebrating the outdoors, whether it's summer, whether it's winter. We don't have the mountains in Morinville, but how do you help celebrate those outdoor activities?
Well, we don't have mountains, but we do have outdoor trails, which are one of the definite highlight pieces for us. We have an amazing trail system that runs through the north side of the community, and we're trying to link it in as much as we can. That, I think, ties into the skateboard park and some of our recreational areas. We have a fishing pond, which is fully stocked every year that people can come out and fish on. We also have a lake across the highway that Morinville owns in Sturgeon County that we're able to offer ice fishing, year-round fishing and just leisure activities. So we try to incorporate all those things. I think just being a young community full of families means that you see more people using our parks and playgrounds as well.
And you're originally from southern Alberta, so I mean that's part of the reason why I brought up the mountains was because you're from that type of area in Hannah. But being up here, is there a different charm, a northern Alberta charm compared to the southern Alberta charm?
You know, there's definitely a difference. I think in some ways, small town rural Alberta kind of has the same core identity of having a great downtown and a vibrant community for people to live in. I think up here, one of the things that we offer is our accessibility to things like that. So, you know, being a couple of hours from the mountains, being a couple of hours from Elk Island National Park, other places like that, offer the ability for us to experience a lot, but have our home base here, which is fantastic.
Outside of Edmonton, you also get to see the Northern Lights. Do you get that chance here sometimes?
You do, actually. That's one great thing for people from Edmonton to know is that we're just far enough out of the city that you can eliminate some of that light pollution. And Bon Accord is one of the first dark sky communities in the province. And we're very close to them, so we definitely can experience a lot of stargazing and Northern Lights and things like that. Great photography out here as well. And we're still in that rural agriculture community, so you get a lot of the beauty of the canola fields when they start blooming. So. Yeah, it's pretty
there's
nice.
lots of canola fields here?
There is in Sturgeon County, and we're completely surrounded by farms and fields, so there's a lot of that out here.
Forget wheat. Canola is the new Alberta export, right?
Well, it's beautiful. It has flowers, so that's always a nice piece, right?
With being with Sturgeon County, there's also places like Cardiff. How do you get involved with those type of places?
Well, Cardiff offers our residents a lot because it has a golf course, which we kind of incorporate as almost the Morinville golf course. It's super close. But also it has a really great leisure park and a lake as well. And the residents of Cardiff do all of their shopping and service activities here. So we do feel like we're part of a larger community. You know, I like to say that we don't plan things with boundaries. There's no invisible red line that goes around Morinville that we kind of stop at. So we have a great relationship with Sturgeon County, trying to make sure that we include their residents in everything we do. And we've been partnering with them on the Regional Recreation Center because of that, because we know that people that live around us, even people that live in St. Albert, in the north side of St. Albert and in Sturgeon Valley, will want to come and use the amenities we can offer. So.
Okay, say I wanted to get involved in the community, I'm brand new. I'm not saying I want to do this tomorrow, but let's say in the future, if I wanted to get involved in the community, how would I do that here in Morinville?
You're moving here. That's a good start. Well, I think, you know, that was my situation in 2009 when we first moved here, is the fact that we needed to jump in right away. And I think the best way to do that is to volunteer, is to be a part of community organizations and groups, and we have a ton of them. We have a really strong library board. We have really strong community associations like the Lions and the Rotary and a Chamber of Commerce. But I just found as a parent, the best way to get involved is to get involved with the schools. Because you just really get to feel the vibrancy when you're in a school situation, to know other people and to get to know a larger network that would enable you to offer volunteering and time and experience. So there's lots of ways to do that. Also just sports activities. We have a huge minor hockey program and soccer is booming. So there's lots of chances.
So many things I just didn't know about Morinville. Thank you so much for joining us, Mayor Holmes.
Absolutely.
Very much appreciate it. If you'd like your town or neighborhood featured on Where You Live, just check out our webpage. You can also check out Facebook or Twitter, you know, the one with the tweets. You can contact us and we'll hopefully get you featured on our program. I'm Doug Roxburgh with another look at Where You Live.